Hi, I am Merisha, and I'm so happy to be a part of the Premier Health and Fitness Center's team in helping to bring you guys exercises to you in your home during this time. So in today's video segment, I'm just going to be showing you a few foam rolling techniques that you can incorporate into your fitness regime. So this will be a great way of utilizing what I'm going to show you today with some of our flex videos, such as the one that we have out with Robin on YouTube. And this will be a great thing to do before workout or after workout. So before workout, it will help increase your flexibility, your mobility, and your range of motion. Post-workout is a great way to recover and repair muscle from all of that repetitive motion. So whether you're out there running, walking, doing our wonderful HIIT kickboxing or muscle up videos that we've had out there on Instagram, this is something that will just help you keep moving and being active throughout your days. So in getting started today, I'm going to be showing you some things that you can do for your lower body using the foam roller. And I'm also going to be utilizing a lacrosse ball. So if you don't have a lacrosse ball, but maybe you have a tennis ball, you can use that. If you have what they call the stick, that is another great way of also working the fascia of your muscles. So this is also a myofascial release technique, which is what the foam roller is all about. Two different types of foam rollers that you may have or you've seen. It doesn't matter which one you use. This is your typical, regular, standard foam roller. And then this one that you probably have seen has the different ridges. You've got the longer ridge, which represents the fingers. The flat part is the palm of the hand. And then you've got the smaller little ridges, which represents like the knuckles or the finger. So if you were having a massage therapist work on you, getting into a deeper tissue massage, that would be the smaller nubbier part. So you can use either one of these. It's perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through a few foam rolling exercises. We're going to do the feet, calves, hamstrings, and quads. Just kind of the lower body. Take what you see today and use it in your workout. Spend a little bit more time addressing the areas that I'm going to show you today. This will be some great techniques to combine with our flex video that you've seen on YouTube with Robin. So you can do this before doing that flex video or after. I would probably suggest doing before, because when you get to the flex video and you're doing those stretches, you brought the oxygen and blood flow to your muscles, and your range of motion and your flexibility should be much improved. So that would be a great way of just kind of recovering from a good workout. And again, also you can use this as a pre-workout. So let's get started, and we're going to start with the feet. So with the feet in class, I usually like to use the lacrosse ball. I will show you that, and I'll also show you just using the foam roller if that's all you have, so it's okay. If you don't have a lacrosse ball or tennis ball and all you have is a foam roller, perfectly fine. So I'm going to stay kneeling, but if you want to stand up, you can stand up, and you'll be placing that right foot on top of that foam roller, so where that foam roller is in the arch of that right foot. So what you're going to do, starting with the right foot, whether it's on the foam roller or using the lacrosse ball, you're going to add that static compression and just holding it, making that mind-body connection and just letting that pressure help release the fascia, just the tightness you may feel in the arch of that right foot. So holding that, making that connection, and breathing. And now slowly roll from the arch of your right foot towards the heel and back to the arch. Regardless of what area you might be working, you always want to just go nice and slow with the movement. Don't speed through it, because you just want to make sure you're making that connection and that you're aware of any tightness or tender spots you may have. And now take it back to the arch of that right foot and hold. And now you're going to want to turn your foot, twisting it side to side like you're trying to screw the lacrosse ball into the floor or that tennis ball. And if you're on the foam roller, again, you have that in the arch and you're just turning your foot on top of that foam roller. You can add some pressure, but if you're standing, you probably feel that pressure already. But if you're kneeling like I am, you may want to add a little bit of pressure by putting your hands on top of that right leg and just pressing down a little bit. And now roll towards your toes. If you're using that lacrosse ball, you're not going to roll underneath your toes. You're just rolling to the ball of your foot and back to the arch. So you're going to do this a few times, 5 to 8. Again, you know how your foot is feeling, so if it's really tight, you just want to roll it as much as you feel like it works for you. And then back to the arch and hold. You can do a few more twists. And now just roll around your foot. Roll to the heel, roll back towards your toes, to the outer edges. Just nice and smooth. Taking note of how that feels. Back and forth. And now you can release. So you would repeat this with your left foot. Do the same thing, starting in the arch to the heel, holding for that static compression, and rolling back and forth nice and slow, back to the arch, do the twist, and then towards the toes. Now we're going to take it down to the floor, and we're going to roll our calf. I'll place this underneath my left calf so you're able to see. So I do each section in twos. So for our calf, I divide from middle calf to just below the knee as one section, one area to work on. And then from mid calf to just above your ankle as the next area to address. I like to break it in two just so that way you can really focus, target, and make sure you're hitting the areas and you're just taking your time with it. So with rolling the calf, you can do this a couple ways. You can have your hands behind you so you can kind of lift yourself up. The right foot is flat on the floor, whichever leg is not on top of the foam roller, and propel yourself forward and back, nice and slow. Or if you have any wrist issues or shoulder issues and that's not a comfortable position for you, you can flex and extend with the knee and working that. You can also use a lacrosse ball and a yoga block if you want to really get a deep tissue work on that calf. So that's a problem area for you and you want to work it a little bit more. You would put the yoga block down and the lacrosse ball on top with flexion and extension of that knee. Again, I'm just working the upper half. I'm not rolling underneath the knee. You don't want to do that. You're staying focused on that calf muscle. And then you want to stop and hold on any tender spot or any knots you may feel in that area, that top part, and just hold that. Breathing, we want the oxygen and the blood flow. And you can do a little turning of the leg, work into that knot. And if you kind of feel it on the side, again, just reposition wherever you need to address. And then a few more rolls. And now let's take it from the middle part of that calf towards the lower part. just above the ankle. Shift your body to reposition. Do not roll behind the ankle. Nice and slow. You can cross that right foot over on top of the left leg. And stop wherever you feel like you need to, wherever you feel, again, any tightness, a knot. Turn that foot side to side. We call that spanning. You can keep the pressure on if you want. And again, you can use the yoga block and the lacrosse ball, as I just showed you, to work this area as well, if you want to get a little bit a deeper focus. And then a few more rolls. So whether you lift yourself up or you stay seated. And if you were using the stick, you would just add that pressure with the use of your hands, pressing against the handles of the stick into that calf muscle. Again, working the fascia that surrounds your muscle. Great. Now let's take it to our hamstring. And again, you will work the right calf after you work the left, or you could stay on one side, working your feet, your calf, your hamstrings, and your quads, and then move over to the other side. Placing that foam roller underneath that left hamstring, midway, breaking it up in two parts, upper and lower. So we're going to work the upper part. When I do the upper part, I like to position myself in a hurdler position. This is one option. Or you can stay at this option of having that right foot flat on the floor, hands behind you to support you. So again, whatever is comfortable for you. So in working that upper area, either go into that hurdler position. You can have your hands on the top of your left leg or on the floor and just moving yourself forward and back. So you're going from mid hamstring to just below that left glute to the top of that hamstring and back. Breathing, nice and easy, slow motion. Taking note of what you're feeling and stopping. For me, it's at the top of that hamstring. I'm going to add a little pressure and I'm going to turn my legs side to side. So my foot is kind of going like a windshield wiper, standing across the top of that foam roller. Breathing, and again, if you feel like you need to go a little bit deeper, you can use a lacrosse ball. There are some larger foam rolling balls on the market that you can use as well. And just stop and hold. Let that tightness just be released. And then a few more rolls, same area, that upper part of that hamstring. And now take it to mid hamstring. Bring that right foot around to the front if you were in that hurdler position. Hands are behind you. Use anything that you need to help support you. And now roll from mid hamstring to just above that left knee. Don't roll behind that left knee. Nice and slow. You could probably lower yourself down a little bit to the floor to give your wrist or shoulders a break. And just roll. Make that connection. Stop. If you need to add a little pressure, you can cross that right ankle over on top of that left leg. Hold it. Turn side to side with that left leg. Or here, you can also do a sweeping motion. I prefer the side to side. All right, so you would address the right side or just staying with the left leg. Before going to the right side, we will go to our left quadricep. So in this position, we're going to be in a prone position on our forearms. We're going to position that foam roller mid-quad. Our right leg is going to be out to the side. So this is how you should be to help support you. We're going to roll from mid-quadricep, just below our hip, to that crease in our hip, back to that mid-quadricep, nice and slow. We're moving ourselves forward and backwards in like a saw motion on our forearms. That connection. And once you feel that tender spot or that tightness in the upper part of your quad, you're going to flex that left knee, flow, and extend. You're working that foam roller, breathe with it. Usually by this point in my classes, I'm hearing a lot of moans and groans, with tight quads. Easy. Remember that scale of 1 to 10. Where are you? Are you a 6? Are you a 7? If you're a 10, hold this for that long. Wait. Flexing and extension. 5, 8 times. Whatever feels good to you. Break. And then roll. At any point, you need to give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. Come back and do a few more if you can. Take it from that mid quad to just above that left knee. You have to adjust your body position. And now roll towards that knee, roll over your knee. So do a few rolls. Note of what you're feeling. Nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. About 2 more times. See, I'm not doing this quickly because I'm wanting to get that release. And a few more rolls. All right, and come up. And so at that point, you can go to the right leg, address your right calf, your right hamstring, and then your right quad, doing the same things that you did on the left side. So let's go ahead and add in the glutes. Since with a lot of repetitive motion, you're getting some tightness in your glutes, you're going to want to sit on top of your foam roller. We'll address the left glute. The right foot is going to come over across that left leg. You're going to turn a little bit to your side. You're not completely on your side because we're not rolling our TFL or the outer part of our left leg. Just kind of turning onto that left glute. Left hand is on the floor behind you. Just a little short movement of rolling back and forth. And if you feel like you need to work differently, you can sit up just a little bit more. And as you see in this position, my right foot is on the other side, not crossed over in front. And I am flexing and extending my knee to help propel me along. And I'm going to stop wherever I feel that knot, that tightness. I'm going to hold it there. And I'm just going to shift like side to side, like leaning forward and back. This is also a good area to where you might want to go a little bit deeper in using one of the balls that you may have. So lacrosse ball, to go a little bit deeper, you could just put it right on that targeted area where you need to focus. A little bit larger, just to kind of help you really focus on the area that is problematic for you. You could just hold that static compression. Again, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever you can tolerate, breathing with it. And then just small little movements, maybe circular, forward and back. Do this as much and as often as you have time for. Foam rolling is great, again, for a pre or post-workout activity. Incorporate this along with stretching for even better improvement in mobility, flexibility, and with recovery. So we have some great videos out there for you guys. I hope you found this to be helpful. Hopefully we'll have a few more working upper body, back, and neck for you guys. So keep looking out on YouTube and our Facebook page for more exercises and activities. Have a great day.